Hi.
Hello, hello.
Oh,
How's it going?
Good. Maybe we'll change the view. Hans got all the.
I will be changing.
Here, let's go like
the
this.
view.
I have more space above my head for all those numbers. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, getting by.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week here. Busy week. I don't even know what day. I mean, I know it's Friday because we are
Right.
here.
Yeah.
It's been busy. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Amy. I have something to tell you. So after watching your live, Amy does lives with Marlon on Tuesday, and she used what's the candy called that she used for the
Licorice.
Oh, okay. So, well, it wasn't licorice that I bought, but I bought it and I ate the whole box. So, thank you very much. Like I bought it with cookies in mind, and then I just kept going. It was like strawberry inside, and it was wrapped in this white stuff. I mean, it's all sugar, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
it was very good. So I blame you.
She's a big enabler. She had I don't know how many boxes of candy, and there she is. Amy's watching Twizzlers.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
had bought out the whole Walmart.
Oh, these were not Twizzlers. No. These were. You would like these, I think. Yeah, they were very. If I remember, I will get them again. They were like, it was like a strawberry flavor. They were softer than Twizzlers. Very good. Very good. Hi guys. So where's everyone watching from?
I mean,
Hi June.
It's all over. I'm seeing.
Hello from Montreal. You're a fellow Montreal.
Oh, there's a fellow Montrealer there.
yeah, I saw one.
Yes.
Where is she?
Well, hello.
Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Ontario, Canada, Ohio. It's gonna be still cold in Ohio. Spring is in the air. Yes, it is.
Yesterday we went for a little walk, and in typical Canadian fashion, there was a guy already in a shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, as soon as we get like this,
Yeah.
Well, everybody is excited about spring. I think it's been a really long winter. For some of you, lots of snow this year.
Well, yeah, and then there's this little thing called Corona that's had us kind of down a bit. So yes, we need a bit of sun.
Yeah.
You can see the view I have on the right.
Oh.
One of these days. Sunny from North Carolina. Excellent.
I lived in Atlanta for a while.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So, do we start with our cookies?
Let's thank our stars setter.
Oh, yes, Amber. There's three.
Thank you, everyone.
Banners.
Squares because I couldn't fit them all in.
Amazing. You're all so generous sending us stars. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And last week thank you for doing the birthday surprise, and for everyone who sent me stars for my birthday.
That was so good.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody.
Somebody had asked earlier how they can support us, and stars is one way to do that on Facebook. So if you look in the comment section, you'll see a little star icon that says you can send stars. So basically that's like that's a little diagram on how to do it. Basically it's like a virtual tip jar, and for every 100 stars that you send, we get $1. And that adds up. So we really appreciate that. And then on YouTube, it's called SuperChat. And then we each have our own stores where you can buy our products, and you can become subscribers on our Patreon pages.
You can find the products on Global Belly. Right now we have a lot of Easter and St. Patrick's Day supply kits.
Oh, thank you, Erica. That's so sweet. Yes, everybody has their own. So it's basically, I mean, the links are in the comments, I think, right now for our stores. And
well, I will put the links in. Sorry, I'm getting a little. Okay, so it's I've never done this where I have the computer.
Why don't I can do it because I'm not decorating. So I'm going to copy and paste the
I'm
link
just
to
going
each
to
of our
copy paste, yes.
stores, or what do you want? Patreon or stores?
We are also on Patreon. Patreon is
Yeah.
it's a paid platform where each of us have our own page, and we create tutorials for our patrons and offer advice and share recipes and sneak peeks and such.
So
yeah.
All right. So today we are going to let's jump right in.
Yes.
So a couple days ago, somebody asked me to create more St. Patrick's cookies. I haven't done any this year. So instead of Easter, as I had planned doing Easter cookies, I'm going to be decorating St. Patrick's Day cookies. And I think Marlene is going to do Easter, right? So do you want me to start or do you want to start, Mar?
I mean,
I'm going to start because I'm burning sunlight here.
oh, then go.
Yes.
Don't ask. Say I'm going first.
It's gonna get dark here. So today we're gonna do. Okay, let's see. I'm going to set the stream. And how do I?
Oh, you want to be big? There you go.
Yes. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully you can see. All right. So we're going to do something along these lines. Okay.
Beautiful. I just love that.
Thank you. And so I'm gonna start. If you don't have a like a shamrock cookie cutter, you can get away by using a round cookie cutter. And this is called tufting, right? Tufting with real icing.
Tufting, quilting.
Quilting,
I
yes.
call it both.
So I'm going to divide my cookie into squares. And to make sure that they are somewhat even, I'm using a grid template that I have here. This one is a bit smaller. If you do it smaller, it's going to take longer for you to ice the cookie. So I'm going to stick with this larger one. And what I like to do is first, I like to find approximate center of my cookie. So my squares are even all over. So okay, let's see. So this way it's center. And then this way. Okay, so you basically just want it the way, so from each side you have approximately same size square there. So I'm gonna start by drawing the lines across. I'm using edible marker. And this brand, this is a Baker pen. And I have this pen, edible pen listed in my Amazon shop. They don't have, I don't think this brand has other markers. I don't think they have different colors, just black.
Okay.
And I think they come in a set of 2.
Have you seen anything St. Patrick in Spain?
No, I haven't seen, I told you, I'm absolutely shocked. I haven't seen anything Easter, not an Easter bunny. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm going to have to make myself an Easter bunny. I have a mold, chocolate mold, so I'm going to make myself an Easter bunny.
That's a good idea.
Maybe they do it a month later.
I don't know. I have well, it's not like we've been going, we go to hardware stores, but even in hardware store in US, you would find Easter stuff. So here, not so much. So I don't know, maybe somebody on the call who is watching, if you are in Spain, maybe you can direct me where I can get some Easter stuff here. Okay, so you get the idea, right? You just want to make sure that you have even squares on there. So now with tufting, there's one thing that usually happens, and that's cratering. Or you will have, do you know what cratering is, guys? If you don't know what that is, when icing dries, when you ice a small section and icing like this little square and icing dries, sometimes there will be like a dip in the middle or even a hole in the middle. This is because your icing was maybe too thin, or you piled up too much and it takes forever to dry. So one way to prevent that from happening is not adding too much icing on your cookie, or you can also use this simple technique by adding a support. And by support, I mean I'm going to pipe. Okay. What's happening here? All right. New cog here. So I'm going to make 2 zigzag lines into each little square. This is a time-consuming technique. So if you were to make 100 of these, good luck. It does. Well, you know, Amber, you've done these many times.
Yeah.
No, you've done these many times.
It takes a long time to do that.
It takes a bit of time to do that. So if you're doing these, if you want to really do this, I would recommend that maybe you have 12 cookies, do 2 or 3, and then the other ones do them simple, so you can maximize your time.
It's a good idea.
Okay, and then you have to let these crust. What these will do, these will prevent your icing from sinking in, so it will keep it up. So these are kind of like beams. So here are the ones that are crusted. And I already started, oops, I didn't show you. Oh, yes, my bad. I should have made
prevent craters, basically, those little squiggly lines, yeah.
So if you can see, this is what I should have done in the first, but I didn't. All right, so we have to create a grid. I'm using white real icing for this. I hope I can get it on my camera. Okay.
I know it's hard to work around the camera right in your workspace.
Okay. I should have done this first and then the zigzag lines. Okay. And I'm using about 20-second consistency of royal icing here. And I'm using a tipless bag. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna let that crust, or you don't even have to, you can start working right away, but I started on this one, so I'm going to move on. So now I'm going to ice every other square. And I'm gonna use first my white royal icing. So I'm gonna start here.
So somebody was asking again about your squiggly lines.
What about them?
Well, what are they? What Julie wants, like, so they're structural support, basically.
Yes. Now I am in trouble because I can't find. Oh, here it is. I couldn't find my scribe tool.
The thing that is good about this particular technique, though, is that once that square is done, you can walk away. So many of the projects, you have to do like, you know, like a big area before you can kind of like answer the doorbell. Whereas this, if you, let's say you can take a sip of coffee and move on to the next one, like it gives you a bit of a...
So now I'm using green royal icing. I piped 3 large dots. And to make a shamrock, I'm going to run tip of the scribe tool through the center of the side ones, making 2 hearts essentially, and then run the top one through. Done. It's so simple and really effective.
So do you think that your squiggly lines, they have to dry before you do that?
Just crusting it's sufficient. You don't have to. It doesn't have to dry. Just crusting, and it really is going to take maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes tops.
Mm-hmm.
But you can. Amber has done this many times. So if you don't pile a lot of icing on there, if your icing is more flat, and you just add enough to cover the surface, you're not gonna have a cratering. You may have a little.
Yeah, it's usually just a little dip.
Just a little dip, but not like a crater where it's a hole in the icing.
Jane's asking if we can address color bleed today. I think, and since you're working with such a dark green, it's
color bleed. Well, I have used colors that I had mixed previously. So these colors have been resting for at least, I would say, at least a week. So I find that also that helps a lot with color bleed. Then promoting the air circulation, like using a fan, so your icing rusts and dries faster.
Yeah.
If you are experiencing severe color bleed, avoid using a food dehydrator or the oven. I find that especially oven, I've tried, it can lead to or not color bleed. It leads to butter bleed.
Oh, butter bleed, yeah. Right.
Yes.
Right.
And that, like, using good quality gel colors, and make sure that your icing is not too runny.
Yes.
Because when it's too runny, then it takes longer to dry, and then it can, yeah, that's what can happen. Also, one thing, if you're adding black on white, I find that it helps when, let's say, you're adding black on white base. So it helps that the white is not completely dry. So it's not going to suck the moisture out of the
that's
black.
interesting.
So if you can somehow calculate the time, I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do, but if you have a projector and you don't have to wait for the icing to dry, you can use a projector and ice your cookie, if that makes sense. But it's not always possible. I know it's not always possible.
So I'm just gonna explain color bleed for the people that maybe are not.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
So color bleed is basically when you have two colors next to each other. So you can see their hand has a square with white and green in it, and she wants that clover to remain very defined and the thing that she made in this moment. But color bleed the next day, often you'll see it appear when you wake up to your cookies, the green has leached into the white area. And so let's say you have maybe a tuxedo cookie with a white shirt and a black jacket, that black will leach into your white, essentially really ruining the design, because then you have this gray cloud in your white sections. And so can be really discouraging when you go to sleep and you're proud of your cookies and you wake up the next day and they look like a hot mess.
And Paula is asking if a thicker consistency will give you puffy squares.
Yes. Yes, it will. It will also make you work harder because you will have to smooth the icing.
Right.
It takes longer to smooth it. If you're smoothing the icing, I always tell people use a sewing machine move, where you basically are kind of working the icing and agitating it and smoothing it out. Okay, now we have a few more squares.
And I'm just going to quickly say the butter bleed now.
Yes, butter bleed. Butter bleed is something that is so annoying. I don't think there is a way to really prevent butter bleed, right?
Well, there's people that have tried, I see different things, like I don't hate the idea of some people put their cookies on a paper towel to try to.
I have done that. I have done that when I turn them face down after I bake them. And it does actually, there's lots of butter or fat that is left on a paper towel. So, but I don't know if it, I mean, if you have 200 cookies to make, you will have to,
Yeah.
But I think there's degrees of it, like if you have just a little bit of it, like it's not such a dramatic thing, but if you have like a ton, like it basically like ruins certain designs, right? It shows up more with certain colors, don't you find?
Yes, I have, and I never found out what was causing it. One year I had butter bleed almost on all the, well, not all the cookies, but a lot of the cookies in the summer. I had butter bleed on brown, I had butter bleed on white, any color I had butter bleed, and it didn't really like affect the taste. Over like course of few days, the icing just got darker. So my white was kind of like yellowish,
right.
my white icing.
Yes.
But I never figured out what was the reason. I never did. And I didn't change anything. I didn't change the meringue powder. I didn't change the butter. I didn't change anything. So, and then it stopped.
So Joyce, you're asking, are all butters created equal? Well, in the case of this particular live stream, there's people from literally all over the world. So there's no way that the butter I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, is the same as even the butter that Amber has in New York State or that Han has in Spain. The cows are eating different grass, the manufacturing process, how they do things. So of course you're going to get a variation of the product. Essentially it's butter, but
here they I've seen cows being fed oranges.
Oh,
why not?
Yeah, I saw, I didn't know what it was. We were driving and there was a pile of orange stuff and I was like, what is that? And they were oranges. So
wow.
I'm getting, some good stuff.
Your Patty's saying she really liked her
Thank
ginger.
you.
Thank you,
Oh, we're
Patty.
so glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
That is great. Anyone? Well, we have few folks from Canada. I have a question, and I told you about it in regards to butter. I will get back to the cookies ASAP. Has anyone experienced issues with butter in Canada, that it's not firm as it used to be? Oh, not. I'm sorry. It is too firm. Yes, you can add white gel. It can help with butter color bleed, and it can also delay crusting. So if your icing is crusting too fast, you can add some white gel color, and there's something in the food color that it can delay crusting, but it does also help with the butter color bleed. I don't know if it helps with butter bleed. All right, so once you are done with the first layer of your squares, you're gonna have to let those crust. You're letting those crust because you want to have the quilting look or tufted look. So I'm going to put this aside, and this one has been drying for a little while. You can see the green sections. This is a cookie that I didn't like, so I scraped it off. I scraped off icing with this tool.
Okay.
So that's why it looks like that. So that's sometimes if it doesn't, if you don't like it or you want to start over, you can definitely do that. And I don't know, I think I got this one from Cookie Countess.
I was going to say, it looks like it's from the Cookie Countess. Yeah.
Or Stencibel. Which butter do you recommend here in Quebec, Marlon?
Well, Anne-Marie, thank you for the stars, by the way. And the butter I've actually been buying, I've been buying the Becel, the vegan. They came out with the plant-based butter, and I've been using it, and I like it very much. The price of butter has gone up considerably here. I don't know if you've noticed. It's like sometimes over $5 a pound. So the Becel is $2 or $3, sometimes less. I've been buying that. And then I just get the store brand from President's Choice, the Maxi kind of store brand. It always works well. And it's, again, a little bit less expensive. Even Costco's prices have not been competitive. The price of, I guess it's due to the pandemic. the price of butter. I don't know if everybody else has noticed an increase in the cost of ingredients, but we've noticed it here. Even just.
I'm going to now use, I prepared 3 different greens. So you can really, I'm not going in, well, only the white is in a pattern, but with the green, I'm just gonna do 3 greens. I'm gonna fill them. I'm not really like planning on any, color where it's gonna be.
I just saw Tina had mentioned that she stays away from the heated fans to dry the cookies. Because it dries the icing really fast, but then you get butter bleed with the heat. So that's why I don't like to use a dehydrator or the oven, because it makes the cookie
Well, I
too
think
warm.
with the heated fans, I would just use it like first 5 minutes, just to give it a quick crust.
Yeah,
You can
if
switch
you're really in a
off.
hurry.
Yeah, I would just do that. If you can switch it off, then.
Here, if I can just answer Caitlin. Caitlin, I don't know what you use for your egg when you're using the vegan butter, but I use a cornstarch egg. And so the cornstarch kind of like, just like it does in sauces, it's a thickening agent. And so it holds the cookie and I get no spreading with a cornstarch egg.
Oh, for the vegan cookies, I use aquafaba.
Okay, yeah.
Talking about aquafaba, who is decorating next week? Is it me or?
I think it's me and you, Ken.
Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Next week, I'm going to be demonstrating how to make vegan royal icing with aquafaba. So we'll work on that.
Cool. Well, since you're doing that, maybe I will also make your recipe and decorate with vegan icing.
Because I really want to. I get lots of questions about that icing, and I haven't tried it with. I haven't piped flowers with it, so I really want to try and pipe, because it does, as you know, it does behave slightly different than your regular royal icing, like meringue or egg based. So I'm going to see if I can pipe flowers with it. I'll show you how to make it. I made it today. It is, you cannot taste chickpeas.
Do you put the lemon juice in it too, like you do with the regular?
Yes. Well, not as much, because aquafaba is liquid, so you have already a lot of liquid. But I just recently learned how to make, and it was amazing. I made meringue cookies with like vegan meringue cookies. And I learned that it's best when your aquafaba, and I will talk about this next week, when it's thick, so it's coating the back of the spoon. When it's too runny, I guess there is not enough protein, so it will not into stiff peaks.
So that just depends on which
brand. Yes, here they have chickpeas everywhere, and they're pretty cheap. So when I drain them, it's so thick. It has never been that thick in the US. In the US, it was very watery. So I guess it's best to then like literally reduce it on a stove, cook it down.
Yeah.
Should I add a shamrock to the green window, guys? What do you think?
Say that again?
If I should add a shamrock to the green window, to the green square, or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'm going to do, okay, dark.
Do gluten-free on top of your vegan icing?
I have gluten-free recipe on the blog already. What do you mean?
Well, that's a question we're getting from Sherry here. If you're going to do
a gluten-free royal icing?
Well, no, gluten-free cookie with your vegan icing.
Well, I can use vegan cookies. I haven't found a good gluten-free flour yet here, so I may have to make my own mix.
Oh.
So I'm going to, since it's facing this way, so I'll do.
Hey, June.
Oh, can you even see it? Sorry, I'm a little too far from that.
Sorry.
Again, I'm going through the side rounds first, and then
So yeah, imagine making like even 2 dozen of these.
Imagine making 3.
well, how many imagine making okay, but did you mean three dozen or just 3 cookies?
Just 3.
Cookies.
That's what I thought that you meant. Well, how many did you make, Amber? Because you have done, when you did the shows, wedding shows, how many did you do at once?
Oh, I didn't do this for an order. That wasn't allowed.
Oh, it wasn't a...
Whenever that, like, in the beginning, oh yeah, it's all, when you're.
I mean, I'm sure I did. I don't remember. Probably.
No, I mean, seriously, we are talking, so it does not take that long, but we are talking, so that's why it takes so long.
Yeah, it goes faster when you're.
When
there's not a camera right above your workstation.
Yes, it does go faster, yes. Oops, I don't want to mess it up.
Yes, these are gorgeous. Lorraine says they're insanely beautiful. I really do love these, Hen.
Thank you.
So Begonia girl asked about the cornstarch egg. So it's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water. Mix that up, and that's an egg. So that.
And it's just your. Oh, I love that.
For every egg that you would need, you put that in. Now it's going to react differently with recipes. It might not work. Maybe reduce your recipe to 1/4 so you can do your experiment. But it works perfectly in my kitchen. So.
Marlon has been an advocate for cornstarch for the whole year of pandemic. Where did you find the recipe?
I found it online. It's because I couldn't get eggs.
Yes, I know. The eggs there was a shortage. I couldn't get eggs either. Yeah, there was a shortage of eggs.
So the pandemic kind of forced it because, I mean, my son loves eggs. So if I have to choose between my son getting the eggs or cookie, so I said, well, I'm going to find an alternative.
Oh, I should have added more shamrocks. I didn't realize. Oh, I didn't add enough on the white. No, never mind. Okay, so I'll add.
You could have done this. I'm looking at it. I don't know if you have them, Han, on a not a cookie. Do you know what a not a cookie is?
I know what that is.
Yeah.
But I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have one? Because I'm looking at it. Almost looks like not a cookie.
No, I don't have it. It's if you're not familiar with that term, it's what is it? A plastic, no?
Yeah, it's just like a plastic.
It's essentially a plastic, round plastic that looks like a cookie, and it's your practice cookie. So you can do this 50 times and then scrape it off, and then you you can say that you decorated 50 cookies with a tufted design. No, it's a good thing to have, right? I don't know. Do you have it more?
I have a couple. I got them in my when I went to CookieCon. They were in my
in your goodie bag.
In my loot bag. Sherry, it's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 3 tablespoons of water. And you have to mix it and don't let it sit. You pour it in because the cornstarch settles as soon as you stop mixing.
I wonder if they could use potato starch.
Well, yes, they could if they wanted to grate potatoes. I mean, I'm a little bit lazier than that.
No, there isn't such a thing as potato starch. It looks like
you try it already.
It's because someone can argue that the cornstarch is not vegan. I think sometimes people say it's not vegan. I don't know why, but the potato starch it's literally like white powder. but it's not recommended for like thickening sauces that you have to like boil. That's what I read, but I have cooked pudding with it a lot of times. So I don't know.
Ryan actually did that one time for a school experiment. He was grating potatoes to get the starch to do, I don't know what the heck he was doing.
Oh, really? So he would, well, there is a lot of starch when you think about it. When you make fries, you let it sit in water, and on the bottom there is so much white starch. So that's the potato, the starch.
I'm just going to say hello to our friend Byron. Of course, we remember you. How are you today?
Hello, Byron. There's a lot of, you guys can experiment with the tapioca starch, the arrowroot starch. You can do your own kitchen experiments and let us know how it works out.
Mm-hmm. Did we answer this? What brand of tipless bags?
I just get the tipless bags, honestly, off the Amazon, or you can also find some good tipless bag in our Global Belly store.
Yeah.
I do highly recommend if you are like a really big squeezer, if you abuse your piping bags, I recommend Borderlands Bakery. Lisa has really exceptional bags. They are very thick, and they can hold some, they can hold up in the squeezing department. Yeah, they're very good. They have virtually no seam either, so they're very good. But I think she's actually running short on some piping bags now.
Oh.
So okay, so I should have done more shamrocks, but as I said, I was just going very unplanned there. So here's one that I finished. It's not completely dry because I did these a couple hours ago. So now I wanted to go with obviously Irish theme. So I was missing some orange in there. You don't have to do the orange, but to finish the design, I'm going to add dots in what's this section called?
Corner?
A corner? Okay.
There's probably a better word. Crossroads, yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna add a dot of orange. And to mix the orange, if you don't have orange food coloring, obviously you can use yellow and red.
Oh yeah, that's a
intersections.
Oh, intersections. Thank you, Jeremy.
Is this also 20-second count, or is it a little bit thicker?
This one is a little bit thicker because I'm going to do a border around the edge, but you could use 20 seconds. It would be easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I was lazy. I didn't feel like making another bag.
Yeah.
I'm also going to show you something that I wanted to use, but I ended up not using. I ended up not using it. Did I add all of them? I think I did. Another thing I wanted to use, talking about candy, last week, I didn't eat these. So these are the rainbow.
Oh.
Yes, so I had this grand idea, and it did work actually, where you could use a small, if you have a shamrock cookie cutter, you could cut it out. But if you don't, you can, I'm going to do it on a paper so I don't mess up my board. You can cut out hearts, and then you connect 3 hearts, and you have yourself a shamrock. That makes sense.
You've never really seen the straps, Amy?
What?
The rainbow strap. Amy's saying, what are those? She did. These are common.
Oh, you don't have these? Rainbow bells. I've eaten 2 bags.
Have them. For sure you have.
Yes, we definitely have those. Yeah.
You have those. I've seen those on gingerbread houses.
You might have to go to like a candy store or something to find them.
There was a food channel that would use them in videos, and he'd call it gay bacon.
Okay, so see how cute. So you could cut out 3 of those and make a little shamrock if you wanted to go that route. But I decided I wanted to put it in the middle, but I thought those were a little too elegant for.
Amy's scrambling. She's got to run to the store.
I can't believe you have never had these rainbow bells. I could go there blindfolded and get them off the off the shelf. Airheads. Are these also? Those are sour, no? Those are like super sour, no?
They're a little tart, but not.
No.
Here's
So when working with the tipless bag, airheads, they look so cool. Thank you, Amy. Oh, you mean the? Yes, they do. The belts look really cool. So when piping with tipless bag, as a good reminder, if you're trying to do beaded border, for example, or if you're trying to write on cookies, find a seam on your cookie, on your piping bag, and then make sure that the seam is facing palm of your hand. I find that the icing comes out nicer that way. So I'm just going to do a very quick demonstration, maybe half. And then I think it's Mars' turn because we are going to run out of time soon. I just looked at the time. I'm sorry.
That's why you wanted to go first.
Okay, so you get the idea. You're going to go all around, and this is what you're going to get.
Looks awesome. I love it.
Okay, folks. All right, back to you, Mar. We're so excited for your Easter cookies. Thank you so much for letting me do this for 40 minutes.
Okay, so camera is, hold on, remove, add, go. All right, so this is a basket shape, and I mean, you can probably use an Easter egg. I think, Amber, you've done that to do a basket using Easter egg. You can look through your collection. I just wanted to show, I was looking for, so I'm going to be doing basket weave, another really
Is that a basket? You know what I see? To interrupt you, the baby shark.
Baby
Oh.
I guess a little bit. I can see it a little bit. So yeah, this is another like time, like not fast design. So I just wanted to show this cookie by Sweet Sugar Belle Callie. And if you look, it's a very effective way to do a basket. And if you look at the actual like basket part, it's just straight lines, wiggly lines across. And it's very effective. She's going for a twig basket. And I mean, it's conveying the message at probably a quarter of the time of what I'm going to be doing. So you want to consider that.
You know what I have used also in the past? Ice cream cone. I trimmed the.
Oh yeah.
I trimmed that.
Sure. So I went to my friend Michael's place there, and they were liquidating.
Are you trying to keep up with Amy's candy?
No, I don't usually. So anyway, this is $20. This is $20 regular price.
Okay.
So yeah, these are very pricey. And then for $20, I'm a bit annoyed because to get your stuff out, like it's not a little container. So how do I fish out all these sprinkles if I want to dip my cookie? Not really practical. I guess you'd have to pour it out. But then if I pour it out, I'm going to have them all mixed up. I'm a bit annoyed, I got to tell you, even if I got it 60% off.
Wow.
But I'm just showing there's a lot of options. Here are the little eggs. There's chicks.
It will last for a long time, though. It's not like you're going to use them up.
No, but it's just for to use them, I find the packaging is not ideal.
Yeah.
That's my point to my rant there.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so much.
And so here are some royal icing transfers that I made. So this is made with leftover icing. So there is a cost, but you're often, when you're finishing up a batch, you're left with certain colors, and often you can kind of plan and make different things. So Here, this little is just a little yellow dot. His beak is a Nerds candy, and then the pearls and it's coated in sanding sugar, little bees. Here, carrots are so easy to make.
Those are really, really cute. I love the carrots.
And then the flowers, here I have two kind of versions, a kind of a side one, and then kind of the top view. All the templates, except the chick, are in my cookie school group. And then here, these, I piped them in white and then just dusted them with purple petal dust.
Love that.
So you can kind of accent.
Is it in your cookie school, like Patreon?
Both. I put the same stuff in both groups.
Okay.
So here is the beginnings of it. So if you, I mean, like I showed you the other version, you can go a little bit faster. Here I added a guideline just to kind of have where I'm going to start and end. The actual like basket weave piping tip is a PME, and I'm going to try to read it. It says 30R, and it's narrower, and just the fabrication of the PME tips are different. It's a really nice quality, I have to say.
Yeah.
So if
what is the number again?
It's a, is it this one? 30R. So when you're doing this one here, if you, I'm going to zoom in just to show you, you can see here there's two piping tips here. And so you can either constantly be switching out, or you can just take the plunge and pipe, but like, prepare two piping bags so that you don't have to constantly be switching.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying to mix another bag, and it's annoying to constantly be changing out the piping tip. So you can decide. I buttered the piping bag with a darker brown, and I mean, I thought it was going to do something, but it really didn't do too much with regards to the actual color. So maybe it's not worth it. So this is a number 2 for the line. So I'm starting, every time I've seen this, and today I just did it by a fluke. Every time I've seen it, you start right to left, left to right, but I'm starting dead center for this one. And of course my icing,
Of course,
like, it's set up a little bit while it was cooking. So I'm just doing a line down the center, and the basket weave is a lot of eyeballing, because you have to imagine a space, like you're leaving a space for the next line. So I'm doing the width here of the piping tip over, and then I have to leave a space, the width, for the next line later. So you're leaving a gap, okay? And when your icing is too runny, all this will melt together. So you need the icing to be somewhat stiff, but you don't want it rock hard, because you're just going to kill your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have an icing that's maybe a little bit more whipped, and so a little bit airier. And now, because I'm going both, like starting at the center, now I can actually pipe 2 of these lines.
Oh, so smart.
And so I'm not putting down and picking up the bag that extra time. So I'm just saving milliseconds. But if you have several to do, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
And so now I can again, so you're just leaving the gap for the next rotate. And then also by doing it this way, your middle is, you know, it's going to be equal on both sides, the layout of the pattern.
Yeah, I love that.
If you want, you can kind of draw some guidelines on, depending on the shape of the basket weave that you're like putting it on. You could maybe have these kind of, you know, have it angled so that the, like a basket, you know, like the bottom is kind of tighter and this is kind of fanned out.
Yeah, this two-tone looks really cool.
I love that as well.
It is showing.
Yeah,
it is very much showing. I like that a lot.
I mean, another option is doing it in one color, and then once it's dry, you could dust it. So yeah, if you feel your hand is like really cramping, your icing is probably too stiff.
No, I'm with Amy here. Just watching it, I'm like, oh, my hand needs a break.
This is one of the occasions where you would whip longer than, like, let's say if you were doing, you know, like this. When you over whip, you're introducing a lot of air, and so then it makes it tough when you add water to make flood. But in this case, it's one of the few exceptions where whipping more is like better.
Yeah.
So it's long, but not, anyway, it's one of those techniques that is fun. It is like, it does do a nice effect. It's the same icing, but for whatever reason, this one got stiffer.
It happens. It happens to me as well. You know, Amber, today I had I think first time when, I remember last time you were, or 2 weeks ago, you had said that sometimes your flat icing will get thicker when you add gel color. So today it happened. Yeah, but it was because I used a different blue that I picked up here.
Oh,
and it was the gel was like really like you could like stick a knife in it. It was so thick.
like very
I think my icing got thicker.
Yeah, that happens.
I wasn't talking it through, but you see, I'm tucking in my line so that it looks like it's going behind those, so it's all horizontal and vertical lines. So I'm tucking in the wider kind of basket weave piping tip behind those straight lines.
It looks really cool. Really cool.
Where's my boo-boo stick? So this is they call it a 2-in-1 tool or boo-boo stick. And then you can come in if you want to just kind of trim off areas if you know. And now I'm going to switch out this piping tip and do a star. And add texture. Now this is again a PME. I have to say I bought some small like stars and stuff, completely different finished look. Like you can see the difference. They're just a different quality. Eh? Yeah. And now I'm just adding a circular motion down here. So this is like a lot of texture, this particular design. You see how
for some reason it reminds me of like a castle.
Oh yeah.
Oh sure. And now here again, same thing. I'm just going to add.
Oh hey Samantha, Bucks County. I miss Bucks County.
So I've got this there, and now I'm taking a petal tip with white icing, and I'm going to lay that on top of this here, and a wiggly line. And again, thick icing, you see? It's giving a nice...
What was the bottom size of the tip? Sherry, if you look in the comments, the first tip that Marlene used for the basket weave, we put a link, we put a number, but this tip, what's the size of this tip, Mar?
So it was a 104 for the ruffle.
104 for the ruffle, and the round one, is it 5?
It's a PME, and the numbers are different, so it's a 43. And I'm just doing a circular motion, you see? And then in the wet icing here, you can add so many things. I'm adding a bee. You could add flowers, a ribbon, I mean, whatever you want to add. And now I'm going to add my little chicks to the basket. And I want, now everything's wet, but so I've got a small tip again. This is a small 101, and I'm adding his wing. Is this going to come out? Everything was on a wet paper towel, but all right. So I'm just doing a wiggly kind of line, and those are his like wings that are going to come out of his body. And then I can just pop him into the basket.
Oh, so cute.
And this guy here is a bit smaller.
Oh,
There they are sitting in the basket together. And you can add, for just a little bit of color at the bottom, you could add Easter eggs or any kind of candy that's on the market. I'm going to pop a flower there.
And this is a leaf tip, right?
Yeah.
A leaf tip.
This is, again, a PME.
Did you just recently get all these tips, or did you have them?
This is an ST51.
51.
And I'm just putting in one of my side view flowers to the bottom, just to give it a little bit of a spring vibe. So it's just all texture, you see. So any star tip you have for the base, for the edge of the basket, then resting the little like ruffle in it. It's like the basket is lined. And this could be done in buttercream because it's none of it is level. So all of this could be done in buttercream if that's what you prefer. If you freeze your elements like these flowers and stuff, or you make the little chicks, you could make them in the buttercream and freeze them so that you can handle them and squish them into your design. I don't think you could do the bee. That would be the only thing, maybe no. But the rest I think you could do in buttercream. So that's it. Look, I'm only a minute over time.
I know. Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, the thing is,
so
with
essentially, it's not that time. Like, yes, it takes your hands when you're doing the basket weave, but other than that, it's pretty fast. Like when you have your decorations like made, it's actually pretty fast.
That's it. Like and the thing is if after every order you make little things like, oh, you say I have yellow left, I'm going to make some flower medals, or I'm going to make these little chicks, or you can make a few of, the different elements, right? And then you can just pop it on. But anyway, so yeah, they're, and then you could pair this with other shapes. You could pair it with large flower cookies, or here some of these from our kits, the painted eggs, or a big chick cookie, something like that, So that's it, guys.
Awesome. That was great. I guess before we go, I'll just mention that I have a class coming up. We had talked about this a couple weeks ago, that you wanted a filigree class. So here it is. That is in my Global Belly store. The link is in the comments. And that's a live class on April 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's open to every skill level. I'm going to be starting from like the basics, making royal icing, thinning it to flat consistency, and then we're going to work on our filigree.
Awesome.
So that should be fun. And you still have your class coming up?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I have a class on how to make these beautiful butterflies. It's also a live online class. You can sign up on Global Belly, and during the class I'll show you how to make black royal icing, color royal icing, and fin it to consistencies you need to decorate the cookies. And the class is on April 10th. It's on the Global Belly website. If you, I don't know if I have the link.
And I put that in the comments earlier. So if you just look in the comments, you'll see the link to Hattie's Global Belly store.
Yes, or you can go on Instagram if you have Instagram, and in my bio. There's a link that will lead you to where you can sign up.
Oh, and Amy's plugging. So on Tuesday, what we're doing is, she went shopping. So on Tuesday, we're going to be basically doing a gadget kind of show. So she's gone to the dollar store and shown bought everything that you can get at the dollar store to decorate cookies. And I'm going to be pulling out all the stuff I've ordered from AliExpress.
Oh, that would be fun.
So I'm going to show all my AliExpress stuff. So
Great.
we have a couple questions. So where are those boo-boo stick available again? So Marlene, you have the street sugar bell, right? There are two sizes, as far as I know. There are two sizes. The pink one, you can check out either Sensible or cookiecountess.com. This one, Mar, I think, where did you get the sugar bell? I think it's also
this is actually made by the yellow one, which is the original. The original makers is CK, sells that. CK, and okay. But CK only sells to like stores. So you're gonna, and if you look for it, it's called a 2-in-1 tool. And Global Belly's sold out of that particular thing right now, but you'll find them on Etsy. A lot of sellers on Etsy have that particular little tool. I think it's 95 cents. I mean, it's really
it's a really great tool, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the little shovel feature, so you can scrape your little spots that you don't like, and then it has the little kind of needle to do your surgical repairs.
You wouldn't want to use that shovel to shovel all the snow you have.
Well, I don't know if I'd use it to shovel the snow. Maybe I'd use it to do a smile on my snowman, but that's about it.
Yes. So what's AliExpress? AliExpress is basically is it like a Chinese Amazon?
Like eBay. Well, the thing is, let's be honest. Everything on Amazon is from China anyway.
Yes, but I mean, like, know what I mean?
But it's like it ships directly from there, so that
you're skipping the middleman. You're skipping the middleman.
Yes. It does take a bit of time, but Marlene has been shopping very frequently, and she's been very happy.
Well, the thing is, it's like you order it and then you forgot you order it. It's like you got a present. It's certainly not like Amazon Prime, but then you get it like 2 months later and you're like, wow, that is So you don't order stuff you need right away, but great deals to be had. Yes, it requires planning, like Amy said. And no pandemic, of course, that delays stuff.
Yes, it's also good for, smearing a small amount of icing on cookies if you need a thin layer like on ears.
It's one of those gadgets that's just very handy, the 2-in-1 stick. And cheap. So that's a wrap.
All right.
We're done. So next Friday, it's Amber and Han.
And it'll be a vegan icing theme. Yeah? That'll be fun.
A vegan day.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.